The nameplate on my desk reads, Archangel Gabriel, Intake Processing. I flipped it face down 3 centuries ago. Everyone calls me Gabe. I've been working the gates for 3,000 years, give or take a century. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. But no. Today, I get Bart. Bart is standing in front of the gates with his hands clasped behind his back, head tilted like he's inspecting a building code violation. He's wearing a charcoal blazer over a black turtleneck. Mental projection, obviously. Nobody brings clothes when they die. And he's got this expression I've seen maybe 10,000 times before. The "I expected better" expression. He walks closer, touches one of the pearl pillars with 2 fingers, steps back. "Interesting," he says. I wait. "It's very..." He waves vaguely at the 12 foundations, the precious stones, the whole architectural blueprint that's literally described in Revelation. Baroque, almost gaudy if I'm being honest. I blink. Gaudy. Well, yes, it's very first-century Palestine, isn't it? All this pearl and gold. It feels a bit theme parkish, like a Vegas casino designed by someone who'd never left Galilee. I set down my tablet. The thing weighs more than it looks. Solid celestial alloy, not the cheap stuff, and it makes a small thunk against the marble podium. "Sir," I say, keeping my voice level, "you've been here approximately 60 seconds. Maybe walk through the entrance before you start the architectural critique?" He ignores me, pulls out his phone, another mental holdover, completely non-functional, and mimes taking a picture of the gates. "Force of habit," he says, pocketing it. "I'm just saying, if I were designing the entrance to eternity, I'd lean more towards Scandinavian minimalism. Clean lines, negative space. Let the concept breathe." I count to 3, open my eyes. Bart is still there. "Let me get your file," I say. The thing about working intake is that you're basically customer service with eternal consequences. People show up disoriented, sometimes in denial, and almost always they have opinions, strong ones, about things they fundamentally don't understand. I pull up Bart's file on the tablet. The screen flickers. Minor glitch happens when someone's file is particularly dense, and his info loads. Bartholomew Whitehall, died at 59, aneurysm during a TED Talk. Literally mid-sentence about disrupting the paradigm of urban green spaces. Figures. Bartholomew Whitehall, I read aloud. Principal architect at Whitehall and Associates. Graduated MIT. Designed the Riverside Gallery, the Opal Tower in Singapore, that public library in Montreal everyone raves about. "The bibliothèque," Bart corrects. "And yes, that was mine." I scroll further. Married once, divorced, no kids. Attended church, sporadically. Easter, Christmas, your mom's funeral. I pause. "But you prayed. A lot, actually. Especially in the last 5 years. Bart shifts his weight. "I had questions." "And you accepted Christ at a design conference in Copenhagen. Age 41. Someone gave you a Bible at the hotel." "A Gideon Bible. I was jet-lagged and couldn't sleep." He shrugs. "I read the Gospel of John. It was surprisingly well-structured." High praise. "I'm serious. The thematic repetition, the use of light and darkness as architectural metaphors, it's elegant. I'm just saying, whoever designed this place clearly didn't read the same book I did." I close the tablet. "Bart, you're here because you believed. You prayed. You gave your life to God. Even if you only went to church 6 times a year, that's enough. It's always been enough. But before I let you through, I need to ask, do you actually think the gates are tacky, or are you stalling?" He blinks. Stalling? Yeah, because in my experience, people who criticize heaven's interior design are usually avoiding something bigger. I'm not avoiding anything. Then what's the problem? He looks at the gates again. His expression shifts. Not much, but enough. I don't know if I deserve this, he says quietly. There it is. Okay, I say. Let me show you something. I tap the tablet screen twice. The world snaps. No fade, no transition, just a hard cut, like someone switched the channel mid-sentence. We're standing in a different space entirely. A living room. Small. The furniture is IKEA-level functional. There's a woman sitting on a gray couch with a laptop balanced on her knees. Mid-30s. Tired eyes. She's wearing scrubs. Bart goes still. That's Emily. Your ex-wife, I say. Yeah. Younger Bart walks into the frame. He's holding a roll of blueprints. Doesn't look at her. I have to go back to the office, he says. Emily doesn't look up from her laptop. It's 11 o'clock. The Singapore proposal is due Monday. It's always due Monday. This one's different. If we land this, it's career-defining. You know that. She closes the laptop, looks at him. Bart, I got the test results today. He stops, turns. And? It's not good. They want to run more tests. They're talking about treatment options. Silence. He sets the blueprints on the counter, rubs his face. Okay. When do you need to go back in? Thursday. I can move the Thursday site visit. I'll go with you. You don't have to. I want to. She nods, picks up her laptop again. Thanks. He stands there for a moment, like he's going to say something else, but he doesn't. He picks up the blueprints and leaves. The door clicks shut. Emily sits on the couch alone. She opens the laptop, stares at the screen. Then she closes it again and just sits there. The world snaps back. We're at the gates again. Bart is staring at the ground. I didn't go with her on Thursday. I know, I say. The client moved up the deadline. I told myself it was just one appointment, that she'd understand. He looks at me. She filed for divorce 6 months later. Yeah. I chose a building over my wife. I don't say anything. He exhales, long and slow. That's the problem, isn't it? I built an entire career on the idea that spaces matter, that good design makes people feel less alone. But I made my own wife feel invisible. You did, I say. He flinches. So why am I here? If I failed that badly, why do I get to walk through those gates? Because you're not done yet, I say. What? I pull up another file, tap the screen. The world snaps again. We're in a small apartment now, cramped. The furniture is secondhand. There's a young man sitting at a kitchen table covered in sketches and architecture models made from cardboard and popsicle sticks. Bart, older, grayer, late 50s, is sitting across from him. This is good work, Marco, Bart says, pointing to one of the models. Really good. You've got an eye for spatial relationships that I didn't have at your age. Marco, early 20s, nervous energy, shakes his head. It's not good enough for grad school. I don't have the portfolio. I don't have the connections. You have the talent. That's more important. Talent doesn't pay for applications. Bart reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out an envelope, sets it on the table. Marco opens it. His eyes go wide. I can't take this. You can, and you will. It's enough for application fees and a new laptop. The rest is up to you. Why are you doing this? Bart leans back in his chair. Because someone should have done it for me. And because the world needs architects who actually care about people, not just buildings. Marco stares at the envelope. I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep designing, even when it's hard, even when you want to quit. Promise me that. I promise. Bart stands, shakes his hand, leaves. The world snaps back. Bart is quiet for a long moment. I did that 17 times, I say. 17 different students over 8 years. You never publicized it, never wrote it off on your taxes. You just did it. Because I knew what it felt like, Bart says quietly. To be broke and talented and invisible. Exactly. I set the tablet down. You failed, Emily. You know that. You can't undo it. But you spent the rest of your life making sure other people didn't feel the way you made her feel. That's repentance, Bart. Not perfection. Repentance. He wipes his eyes. I still think the gates are tacky. I grin. Noted. But I think I get it now. You're not designing for minimalists. You're designing for maximalists. People who need to see abundance because they spent their whole lives feeling like they didn't have enough. Something like that. He looks at the gates one more time. And this time, I see it. The shift. The moment when the critique stops and the awe starts. Can I ask you something? He says. Sure. Why do you do this job? You could be anywhere in heaven. Why stand here and deal with people like me? I think about that. I could give him a polished answer, something about calling and purpose and divine assignment, but I don't. Because every single person who walks through those gates thought they weren't good enough, I say. And I get to be the one who shows them they were wrong. Bart nods slowly. That's good work. Yeah, it is. I pull a golden key from the podium drawer and hand it to him. Your mansion's on 3rd Street, near the gardens. Great light. You'll love it. He takes the key, stares at it, then looks up at me. 3rd Street has good light? Best in the district. And the crown molding situation? I raise an eyebrow. Excuse me? I'm just asking. Because if it's the standard decorative Baroque nonsense, I'm going to have to submit a renovation request. I stare at him. He grins, just a little. You're unbelievable, I say. I'm an architect. It's in the job description. He pockets the key. Thanks, Gabe, for not letting me off easy. Just doing my job. He turns and walks through the gates. I watch him go. The gates hum, low, almost subsonic, like the resonance of a massive tuning fork struck once and left to fade. I pick up the tablet. It's warm now. The weight feels familiar in my hands. The screen flickers. Next file loads. I exhale, pull up a chair, and wait for the next one to arrive.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'll be back every Tuesday and Thursday with a new one. If you got time, click on the link on the screen and we'll keep it going. Until next time, see ya!